Hey guys, so welcome back. This is going to be part 3. Now guys, like I mentioned before, the Echoville doesn't just stop there. Previously, like I mentioned, I feel as if Sasha Fierce is literally loading up on the Cowboy Carter stage. As you could see, the Black Betty tour, which in the interludes, Beyonce literally is channeling back Sasha Fierce. And with Don't Hurt Yourself as one of the track on Lemonade, I have a great feeling that this is going to be a matchup that we are going to be needing for Act 3. And like I said, if we're following the calendar that Beyonce has now been following, especially releasing the 3 acts simultaneously from not only the way it was released since 2022 and then going on tour after, we could conclude that the Black Betty tour will happen probably in 2027. But at the same time, it feels as if she's also going to be releasing Act 3, either tease Act 3 within the next couple of months after this tour ends. I know that from what I've been following, shout out to Beyonce Ave, and you guys could follow her channel. I will leave the notification or the link to her channel here. She made such interesting points, and I think you guys should go watch her channel first, and then you guys could come back to mine so you could see the interconnection. There's a lot of things we're going to be talking about on this video, and I hope you guys have your popcorn ready or something that's gonna help you guys relax. Like I mentioned, Beyonce said that never ask permission for something that's already belongs to you, and that has been speaking very loud on the stage of the Renaissance Cowboy Carter. Now, as you guys also mentioned, the Cowboy Carter stage is also a guitar, and that this should have been the stage for Act 3. Now, I'm thinking that the 2 acts that we're seeing right now that already been released are sisters. What I mean by sisters is the Renaissance Portal is a direct connection to also the Cowboy Carter stage as well. The Renaissance stage was supposed to be for Cowboy Carter, like I mentioned in previous videos, and how it was interswapped due to the COVID pandemic, and that the way Beyonce is also connecting the Telephone series, which is going to be part 2 of Telephone. Lady Gaga already announced that Beyonce and her are in the works on doing Telephone part 2, which I also believe that Lady Gaga will be in Act 3, just like Miley Cyrus was already in Act 2 before we even knew there were going to be Act 2 called Cowboy Carter. Now, I mentioned that Echoville is one of the trade names that Beyonce has put in, as well as the other trade name that she did put in was Echoville, as well as Cowboy Carter. She also trade named a mysterious 4th name, which I think that belongs to the Act 3. Now, if we're also following the different connection of how Sasha Fierce, as well as Beyonce's alter ego character, like this Wonder Woman character from Telephone, how that character is also being loaded up as well. There's a lot of graffiti that is written in the background, but as you could also see too, some of the graffitis are depicting something. And I think from the interludes from the Cowboy Carter, it seems as if how I think this is gonna go is that we're gonna get a continuation, just like we saw in the trailer when Cowboy Carter was first released, and Beyonce was basically driving the car, almost like she split ways with Lady Gaga's character, and they became their separate careers, and now they're back to like reunite. And I feel as if that's the same thing that's going on right now. It seems as if when they went on the last road trip and Lady Gaga's character was like, "Do you promise we'll never come back?" and then it's said to be continued. Now it's flash forward 15 years later, Lady Gaga's character as well as Beyonce's character are now gonna meet in a bigger showdown. And I feel as if with Lady Gaga's doing Mayhem, which I can't wait to cover that as well, and Beyonce covering Cowboy Carter's visual interludes and how it connects in the bigger scope of this project. We start seeing how Echoville becoming more and more prominent into the field. Like I mentioned before, these golden statues of the different depiction of the album was a standout throughout the tour for me, because for one, we saw Beyonce's album cover, but instead of the original patriotic look, it's all in gold, which is also signifying that the horse is going through these anti-dimensional covers before it could reach the black cover that we've been seeing in the art book. I think this version is going to be more of a resistance. If Renaissance was the future and Cowboy Carter is the past, the present, which we haven't seen yet, is what Beyonce is working on now, I believe. And I forgot to mention that each of those depict statues or a liberation of the different monuments that is located in the United States. On one of the Beyonce's interludes, I forgot to mention, it seems as if Beyonce was sitting on a statue similar to, we called it Bay Lincoln, because Beyonce is literally sitting like Abraham Lincoln on the statue. At the same time, she is depicting different things, such as a Statue of Liberty version of herself as the Statue of Liberty. And going back to now, I feel as if the Cowboy Carter is going to break the fourth wall. I think by the time this tour wraps up, which is strangely, believe it or not, this tour will wrap up roughly around July 29th, collectively depicting the date roughly around, what, 3 or 4 years since Renaissance release, when Renaissance was released. And you could see the interconnection of these two albums. They're like sisters. They're very similar. And I think Act 3 is going to be the merge of these two acts, with Renaissance being silver and Cowboy Carter being gold, and the bronze version is going to be the more interconnect ones of them all. I could give you guys a better understanding of what I'm saying by going back to showing that some of the visuals from Renaissance are not depicting the future of Cowboy Carter, almost as if like we're gonna interloop itself backwards. So I feel as if Act 3, when it presents itself, you see, if for an example, you see how the stage of the Renaissance was this banjo. It also represents the lake or the river that sits above, across the Washington monuments, and the monuments were being depicted in Cowboy Carter. When you see Beyonce sitting in the same pose, there was something very similar to that in the interlude of Renaissance, where it was like these twin robotic sisters that were sitting similar to the pose that Beyonce is sitting on. And I remember the interlude was saying that, is this it? Is this all there is? And when she went through that portal, indicating the Renaissance portal, it almost looked like these gates of legs. And you could even see that the robotic things are even more prominent in the Renaissance compared to the Cowboy Carter. And what I find cool is that I think there's a different color for each of the segments of these acts. Now, like I said, Act 3 will be almost like Thanos putting the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, she referenced Thanos, indicating that so each of the acts are gems, and then Echoville, which is the fourth act, like I've been mentioning to you guys, will be like this, the gauntlet that Thanos has worn, that's gonna put those gems. There's a bigger thing at play than just the 3 acts, and I think the fourth act, or even there's like 5 segments, I would say. So from Renaissance to Cowboy Carter to the mysterious fourth act, and this is the scene that I was telling you guys when they were depicting the portal, the circular portal chrome of the legs opening up, almost like we're tunneling inside of her body. And inside of those walls were different imagery of other characters. Similar to Cowboy Carter, we got to see more characters more prominent. And I remember looking at the Renaissance film, which hasn't been released yet. I feel as if there's another film coming out, which is going to be the Cowboy Carter film, and we're gonna get more understanding of what made this stage more prominent. Now there is another teaser I'm gonna be working on, which is gonna depict the different segments of the Renaissance stage and how Beyonce predicted the stages based on how she coordinated the different acts. Now mind you, like I mentioned, the acts were switched around, and that she's giving you this ethereal like presence with Renaissance, and then flash forwarding it to now, how Echoville is becoming more and more prominent. We're gonna see a different version of this avataric Beyonce character. And I remember Beyonce had the commercial for Cowboy Carter. She said that this is called Beyonce Eye, right? And how she's becoming more robotic at some point. That's why you didn't see her dance, I would say sing as much, but dance mostly. Whereas the past, Beyonce was dancing and singing more. And it's like she's creating these three separate alter egos. I don't think it's just Sasha Fierce she's bringing back. I think she's bringing back two new alter egos that's gonna make up those three acts. Because this character reminds me of Tyrant, but at the same time it also has this Statue of Liberty look. It has these crowns on top of his head. It's also holding a torch at the interlude video, and it still has that Renaissance, like those four arms, those four golden arms, not silver. And then also at the end, Beyonce has two things she always do at the end of the tour, which either sometimes she shows the Statue of Liberty, like the regular one, or she showed the bronze or the golden color, which indicating that bronze is more closer to gold, and that's what the segment is going towards. And I feel as if it's gonna be more of a prehistoric type of energy that she's gonna bring. I think Act 3 is more primal, like primal essence, like the inner essence of Beyonce is gonna come out more. And not to mention, like I mentioned before, on the cover of Cowboy Carter, like for the tour, there is one specific character that stood out to me, which is the character that Beyonce dressed up with braids, as well as a bleach eyebrow, which is the cover for her Renaissance. That character was also mentioned in one of the 42 different characters for Cowboy Carter. You could see her as one of the prominent characters at the very bottom. Like she is one of those characters. As well as you could also see Black Betty, which is one of the characters that has like the front brunette hair, the front like fro, you know what I mean, the hair, and how her hair is more in black. And then the other character with the braids is also the cover for the Cowboy Carter. Like I said, the antebellum version that Beyonce is creating out of this entire Echoville experience is such an amazing thing. And like I said, I can't wait to give you guys the full understanding of what the Echoville has been telling, because it seems like she's echoing back to her different alter egos. And I think there's other alter egos that she hasn't even displayed to us yet. That is something for our fourth video, which is going to be our fifth video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Beyonce is creating something much bigger than just the three acts, as well as the visuals? I think will come and play probably the last thing, because I feel as if after the fourth act, the fifth, I would say fifth act or so, or it could just be the fourth act, but it will be a split between visuals and an additional album. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon, and I will definitely put Beyonce Ave as you guys could check out her channel. Bye bye.